Hello there. What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan. I make language videos here on YouTube. You may have seen me on Omegle or Ome TV, speaking with different people, kind of just having fun, talking in different languages. So today I want to give everybody my 5 best tips for improving quickly in a language or studying a new language. Let's go. Tip number 1. One of my most important tips that I could give is that you want to be able to practice with either native speakers or non-native speakers every opportunity you can. Oftentimes, if you're studying from a book or using different apps like Duolingo, Memrise, or something like that, then you're not always getting the full experience of studying a language. And yes, while using those apps and using books is very important for studying the language, you also need to be able to practice with people so that you can practice in real time and improve. Some of my favorite apps include Omegle, Ome TV, Hello Talk. So the following clip is an example of what I might normally do when I'm practicing on Omegle or Ome TV. I happen to learn some German phrases, and so I was attempting to use them in this clip.
Kannst du Deutsch?
Deutsch?
German?
Wie geht's dir?
Okay, you are American and you can speak a little bit German.
And I actually play a few video games as well to help me practice, one of which is VR chat, which I think is great. The following clip is another good example of how I practice with native speakers using VR chat. In this clip, I'm speaking Mandarin.
你在中国吗？
不是啊，我现在在美国。
你是学中文？
对，其实说来话长，我以前去中国留学，但是现在呢，我就在美国住下来。So by using games like VR chat and other games, you can talk to people without having to see them face to face in real time if you're not comfortable with that. So this means you still get an opportunity to practice, and it's good one-on-one experience with somebody, or perhaps you're talking to multiple people, which is even better. Tip number 2. So when you think about studying, you're probably thinking about which software to use, which apps to use, or maybe which flashcard app you should use. But honestly, the place in which you study also has a huge impact on how you study and how focused you can be. So take a look at this room, for example. I don't think I'd be able to focus in here personally. There's just way too much going on, and it looks like I would have too much fun not studying. So for me, what works is I like to go to coffee shops or perhaps libraries where it's quiet and I can focus. As you can see in this library example, the environment is relatively free of distractions, and there's just the desk and the chair. This is a lot better comparatively to the room, where there's many distractions, such as the computer or maybe games on the computer. Also, the lighting's kind of distracting as well. Tip number 3. Okay, I'm not trying to sound crazy here, but my third tip is actually talk to yourself in the language that you want to learn. So before you go to the comments and say, okay, this guy's nuts, just hear me out. Basically what I mean by this is once you learn new words or phrases, don't be afraid to practice them when you're walking around or if you're by yourself in your room. Say them out loud. Another thing I like to try and do is incorporate the language in my everyday life. So if I'm walking around and I hold up my phone like this, then in Mandarin I could say, 这是我的手机, which means this is my phone. So doing stuff like that can help you actually get used to speaking the language and make you feel more comfortable when you do actually talk to people. Tip 4. My 4th tip is to reflect on what you've learned often to help you stay inspired. So it's always an awesome feeling when you learn something new in a language, like a new word or a new phrase. However, it's also important to not forget those phrases over time. Sometimes I like to go back to basics in the languages I learn, such as in Mandarin Chinese. I'll look at my old Chinese textbooks to make sure I still understand everything, even in the beginning chapters. And I think doing this and going and looking back at old material helps you build confidence in learning new material and practicing with other people as well. The 5th and final tip for everybody out there. Do not avoid languages because they're too difficult, or don't pick languages that you don't want to learn. Now this might sound obvious, but a lot of people choose languages because they are easy or because they're something that people suggested to them. By picking a language that you're interested in, you'll be more inspired to keep learning and you'll have more motivation to learn that language as well. Though there may be challenges along the way, you'll be glad that you studied that language because you were really interested in it from the start. Anyways, those are my top 5 tips for how to learn a new language or how to improve your language learning ability. Let's review the tips one more time really quick. The first tip is to practice with native or non-native speakers every opportunity you can. The second tip is to ensure that you're in the best possible studying environment for you. The third tip is to talk to yourself and practice words and phrases and pronunciation. The 4th tip is to reflect on what you've learned and always review to help you stay inspired. And the 5th tip is don't pick languages that you don't find interesting, or don't avoid languages because you think they're too difficult. Anyways, although this video is not my usual type of Omegle content, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. For me personally, it's important to go back and look at, for example, my old Chinese textbooks to help me understand. No.